Will the Bengals right the ship on Sunday against the Browns? Hi again, everyone. I'm James Rapine with allbengals.com and Cincinnati Bengals Talk here outside Paul Brown Stadium on a chilly yet sunny Wednesday afternoon. A couple injury notes. Cam Sample will not practice today with a knee injury. He's expected to return to practice on Thursday. The team's still evaluating Chris Evans. Unclear if he's going to practice at all this week. No update on Trey Waynes, but the good news, the big news, Jackson Carman will practice on Wednesday despite not being able to finish Sunday's game against the Jets. But this Bengals team trying to rally around each other, still confident despite that ugly, ugly loss that we've been pretty critical of, that you've probably been pretty critical of. Here is Zac Taylor on righting the ship and getting things right this week against Cleveland.
You guys have seen our practices. There's really only one padded practice we have on Thursdays. And so, again, we're conscious of the amount of reps we get. So you get a chance to correct all the stuff on tape. We were looking for reasons to get on the guys last week, and they didn't give us any. You know, they had a good week of practice. We went out on Sunday, and we just didn't play up to our standard. And so we've covered in the meetings. Again, we'll continue to read it. We're not going to change who we are during practice just because you lose one game. We're going to keep stressing the details that they do turnover circuits, they do tackling circuits over the course of the week. We always do our ball security and tackling stuff on Thursdays as well. And so we'll just keep up with the same process we followed. Our guys are ready to put that one behind them and step foot on the field and get a chance to start working towards Cleveland and show who we really are.
The Bengals are 2-0 in the AFC North so far this season, winning in Pittsburgh and in Baltimore. So Sunday's game will be their first division matchup here at Paul Brown Stadium and a chance to go 3-0 in the division and 6-3 before the bye. Here's Jamar Chase on the importance of getting a victory.
It'll be a big thing just because, this organization really needs it. Just the team, just to get back on our feet after that loss. We lost to New York Jets. You got to go out there and execute. We're playing against a very great defense, and we just got to go out there and execute. Perform with excellence. You got to want it more. You got to play more aggressive than they do, and I think that's how we're gonna get a victory.
The main reason the Jets were able to upset the Bengals at the Meadowlands, tackling. The Bengals have been a really, really good tackling team, and then they weren't against the Jets, allowing Michael Carter and Jamison Crowder and Ty Johnson and all these guys break a bunch of tackles, 15 according to Pro Football Focus. That obviously has to be a point of emphasis this week, going against Nick Chubb, going against D'Ernest Johnson, who you might not have heard of unless you play fantasy football, had a really big game in Week 7 against the Denver Broncos, but it's going to be a challenge. Here are Zac Taylor, Logan Wilson on the importance of tackling this week and getting it right.
Tackles he breaks. He's hard to bring down with just one guy. You just got to make sure you wrap up and squeeze, and everyone's coming. You just got to hold on. But sometimes it's easier said than done. He's very good at making guys miss. They're
number one rush offense in the league, and so you have to honor that. And so with that comes the play actions, the nakeds, and the screens. And it's effective when you can make it all work together. Kevin's background is he's always been really good at this stuff, and I've got a lot of respect for Kevin in the way he goes about things. And Alex Van Pelt, obviously working with them. They've also been around some of the best, with Kubiak for as long as he was around him. So to get a chance to kind of have that mentorship as well sets a great foundation for you. He was around Pat Shermer. Pat's always done a great job as well at all the stops he's had. So Kevin not only is smart enough to do a great job on his own, he's also got that background to draw from that puts him in a great position, and he's put his team in a really good position through the first 2 years.
On offense, the Bengals, well, they got to deal with number 95. Myles Garrett, one of the best, if not the best, edge rusher in the NFL. And it's not just him. Jadeveon Clowney. They have multiple guys on the interior. Takk McKinley, if he's healthy, will be contributing to that edge rush combination for the Browns on Sunday. And let's be honest, that's scary because we've talked about offensive line for years here in Cincinnati. Here's Zac Taylor and Joe Burrow on how tough it's going to be to go up against Garrett and company.
He's a great player, and it's not enough that it's just him. It's Jadeveon Clowney and Takk McKinley, and they got some great guys inside as well. So really it's, Larry came over to us. We got Larry, but then they added a bunch of pieces over there on defense as well to go around Jadeveon, and even some new faces at backer and safety, and they got some of the corners back healthy that they drafted and some guys that are getting back. So they've got a really good defense. They've done a good job building that thing, and they've really played well this year. I know they gave up a good amount of points with the Chargers and the Cardinals. But other than that, they played really solid football, and it's going to be a tough test. We go Wednesday and we have to protect our quarterback, and we have to be on top of the details in the pass game and the run game and all the things that can complement and slow him down. You say him, there's a lot of them, and it's they feed off of each other. There's no question about that. And so, again, they've caused a lot of problems to a lot of teams. He had 2 sack fumbles against us last year, 1 in each game. And so we're very much aware of the problems that he brings. And, again, our tacklers are excited for the challenge. Everybody involved in the process is excited. And so, again, we'll put together a good plan and go execute on Sunday.
When you face pass rush like they have, you're always going into the game thinking about it. Understanding you got to get the ball out of your hands quickly. Got to affect him in certain ways. So you're always thinking about a guy like that. They're a great defense. They really are. Almost every single team has struggled to run the ball against them. They're tough inside, and they do a really good job of keeping everything in front of them. So we're going to have a good plan. We're going to have to be ready to go as we do it every week. Well, they added Jadeveon Clowney, who's obviously one of the better players in the league, and they've added some pieces in the secondary that have really helped them a lot.
I saved the best for last today, Bengals fans, because Joe Burrow in this Bengals offense has scored 31 or more points in each of their past 3 games. But I think you, me, and everybody believes that they have another gear, that they could be more consistent, that they could get the short yardage stuff there and be better on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 or on the goal line. Here's Burrow on their ultimate goal, which I set before the season. They should average 30 or flirt around that 30 points per game mark. He has higher aspirations.
We feel like we should go out and score 40 every single week. And, last week we left some points on the board. And, the week before that we left points on the board, and the week before that we left points on the board. So, unless you score on every possession, there's always room to improve and get better.
Can the Bengals get to 6-3? We have you covered all week long. We'll be here at Paul Brown Stadium. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check out allbengals.com for exclusive interviews, columns, and so much more. Mike Santagata's film review today was awesome on why the Bengals struggled to beat the Jets on allbengals.com. So you should check that out. Really good in-depth piece on the defense and how they can get better and improve before Sunday's game against the Browns. We'll be back at it later this week with more on this matchup. Until then, I'm James Erpine. Thank you so much for watching here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.